Hi all. So this reflection begins a short series of bite-sized learning pieces exploring how ideas from population health might relate to the work that we do at Sport for Confidence, SFC Community Health Service. So I recently started a population health course, and these reflections are a way of me sharing my learning with you, but also a way of encouraging reflection and your own learning around Sport for Confidence and population health. So the aim isn't to present lots of definite answers as such. Instead, I want to explore some questions and encourage reflections around how we describe and understand the work that we do at Sport for Confidence. So when I first started the course, my question was quite simple really. What is population health and do I actually understand it? So I would say that I started the course with a general awareness around both public health and population health. I also had a sense that the ideas behind these approaches probably aligned with the philosophy and values of Sport for Confidence. The Sport for Confidence blueprint talks about belonging, meaningful participation, reducing environmental barriers to physical activity, and working across systems to address inequalities and close the outcomes gap. So I would say at first glance, these ideas seem to sit pretty comfortably alongside population health thinking. However, I realised that I'd never really stopped to examine this in lots of detail. And so part of my motivation for taking the course was to understand population health much more clearly and to explore how it relates to, say, public health. Because I would say that in practice, this distinction comes up quite a bit. So if Sport for Confidence contributes to improving health outcomes across communities and reducing inequalities, does that mean that we're a public health service, a population health service, or perhaps something slightly different? So thinking about this also made me reflect more deeply on what we mean by health. Within Sport for Confidence, health clearly does matter, but it's rarely our starting point. Instead, we focus on supporting people, particularly people furthest away from physical activity and sport, to take part in meaningful activities, experience a sense of belonging and reconnect with their communities, using physical activity as a vehicle or a tool in practice. Improved health and well-being often emerge from this participation, but they're not always the explicit goal. So in many ways, this reflection is as much about language as it is practice. Population health approaches often focus on improving outcomes across groups while addressing the wider conditions that shape health. That raises an interesting possibility. Is Sport for Confidence already operating in a way that aligns with population health, but describing its work through the language of belonging, meaning and participation alongside occupational therapy? In the reflections that follow, I want to explore that question further by looking more closely at population health ideas and mapping them against the principles and practices described in the Sport for Confidence blueprint. My hope is that this helps us think more clearly about our work and how it connects to wider conversations about health inequalities and participation in our communities. So please enjoy my reflections, and I hope that it encourages you to think and learn too. And I look forward to connecting with you after. Thanks.